good morning, TGIF.
Thank God.
Thank God for something.
Thank God.
Thank God. It's the Brad and Squeeze show.
How was your evening last night, Mr. Squeeze? Did you have a great evening?
My evening was.
Did you have a nice sleep?
My evening was.
Did you have a nice, comfortable sleep?
No, but my evening was.
You did not have a nice, comfortable sleep.
My evening was.
Your evening was.
It has passed.
It has passed.
And I'm here.
And thank God it's Friday.
And thank God I'm alive.
And another day above ground.
Another day above ground is
always a good day, I guess.
It's always a good day.
That's
Brad the attorney, yours truly, Squeeze the businessman, amongst other things. We're here, right here on, of course, social media. Facebook, it's David Squeeze Atticus' Facebook page, Brad H. Bernstein's Facebook page, Esquire. Of course, he's an attorney. And also, of course, the law office of Spawn Bernstein. And the big page, the important page, the Brad and Squeeze page. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here on 93.5 WVIP FM also. And every time it comes around the Friday, it's the day I fear. Okay?
Why do you fear Friday?
Friday's just got to go see you.
It's WVIP Fridays?
Yes, it's WVIP Fridays.
Because we're heard on WVIP.
Because we're heard on it.
93.5 for how much longer? Who knows?
We joke about it.
By the way, Christine Lewis Anderson is the first person to say hello on the law offices of Spawn Bernstein.
Right.
And she says, long time I haven't seen you.
Seen who?
Well, whose fault is that, Christine? I mean, we're here every day.
Yeah, we are.
We are here every day. Come watch us every day. Long time I didn't see you.
Hold on, I forgot I got to put this thing in my ear.
Like she's blaming us that she hasn't seen us in a long time. I think we're here every day.
That's her way of saying that she misses us.
Aw.
Everybody loves us.
We miss her.
And by the way, folks, we love you also, especially the ones who share us. You get extra love from myself, David Atticus, and Brad Bernstein.
I need your love.
I need your love.
We were just singing that. We just had that in the studio. We just had the Shaggy song going on in the studio right before we...
Let me love.
I can't sing. I will not sing on.
Please don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to say thanks to our production team doing such a wonderful job and making sure that this show goes...
as is.
As is. Seamless.
As is. As is. The show goes as is. Your night was.
Yes. But anyway, Brad, what's happening in today's world?
All right, so I want to remind everybody that there are about 5,000 recipients. It's really important. About 5,000 people who filed for their DACA applications, who made their DACA applications on time by the deadline. That's the Obama program that Trump was ending. And it had to be in immigration by October 5th, your renewal or your first application. Department of Homeland Security returned 5,000 applications to people wrongfully. They have agreed now, there is the basket of applications they would not open. And they have agreed now to accept these applications. So if you are a DACA recipient and had your application returned, please call us immediately so we can help you at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. And
let me give out the number.
The American Immigration Lawyers.
Let me give out the number. You got to give out the number in a very pronounced way. All right? 1-800-529-5465. The DACA recipients who are up in arms right now, call the law offices of Spawn Bernstein. They're good attorneys here, ready, willing, and able to help you.
And of course, the American Immigration Lawyers Association had a statement about this.
And what is the statement, Mr. Bernstein?
All this could have been avoided by not having a very short arbitrary deadline.
Wow.
Donald Trump. Okay.
Donald Trump again.
Donald Trump
strikes again. Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
That the new Star Wars, they're having a new trilogy.
Yes.
Return of the Donald Trump. Right in time.
Why do they call it a trilogy?
Right in time for the next election.
You ever try to figure that one out?
Why'd they do a trilogy?
The Star Wars,
because they figured out in the movie business that if they do 3 movies in a row, it makes money. If they make 4, nobody wants to see the 4th.
Yeah, but it's more than 4 Star Wars.
I know, but they do them in sets of 3 because that makes money.
Oh,
nobody wants to see the 10th Star Wars. You're like, 10? This is the 10th Star Wars?
But it is, right?
Of course. So it's...
I saw that.
So, Squeeze, this is marketing.
Idiot came up with
this is marketing. This is like brand new movie. It's a trilogy of 3, so so it sounds brand new. Because think about it.
When I was born.
Let me ask you a question. Remember Police Academy?
Yes.
Did anybody watch Police Academy 8? No. Nobody watched Police Academy 8. Okay, so by the way, there's a judge in Philadelphia who sided with Philadelphia in a lawsuit brought by Donald Trump to withhold over $1 million in public funding because Philadelphia is a sanctuary city. Government was trying to withhold money from Philadelphia to punish them for being a sanctuary city. And the U.S. District Court Judge Michael Belson wrote, "There is no conflict of any significance between the federal government's need to carry out immigration enforcement and the city's promotion of health and safety," which is the money that was being withheld by the U.S. government. The decision follows others made by federal judges in recent months to block the Department of Justice efforts to cut federal public safety funds received by sanctuary cities. Are we concerned about oil spills in South Dakota? CNN is. Oh, did you hear about this one?
Which one?
Al Franken. He is now a Democrat. Okay, used to be the head writer on Saturday Night Live, became a politician, and is now a leading Democrat in the U.S. Senate. He is accused of groping a woman during a USO tour in December of 2006. This was about 3 years before he became a Democratic senator from Minnesota. He was headlining a USO event with Leanne Tweeden, who is some model, I guess. And she said Franken forcibly kissed her and later posed in a photo in which he groped her chest on a return airplane flight. Franken apologized and says he welcomes an ethics investigation. Quote, "I am asking that an ethics investigation be undertaken. I will gladly cooperate. I certainly don't remember the rehearsal for the skit in the same way, but I send my sincerest apologies to Leanne. As to the photo, it was clearly intended to be funny, but was not. I should not have done it." Tweeden accepted his apology, tweeting, "People make mistakes," and of course he knew he made mistakes, so yes, I do accept the apology. She said it's up to Congress to decide if he wants to have an ethics investigation in Franken's behavior, but she is not calling for Franken to step down. Trump tweeted, Trump tweeted about Franken, but he has stayed silent about Senator Moore, who apparently likes to have sexual relations with 14-year-olds.
What?
Yes, and 16-year-olds. That's the guy running for Senate in Alabama. So, does it matter that he was trying to be funny, Squeeze?
I think what I've just heard is just very sickening.
What's sickening?
The thought of someone, it's...
The whole thing.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, I don't know. By the way, I will say this. I will say this. The one thing that I am concerned about is that there are so... Like, I saw, you know who the guy Ron Jeremy is?
I'm quite sure you're going to tell me.
You know who he is.
Oh, what makes you think I know everything?
You know who this guy Ron Jeremy is. He was
everybody thinks I know everything.
Famous male porn star from the 1970s.
Why would I know that, Brad?
Because you know a lot of things, Squeeze. So this guy Ron Jeremy, who's a famous, I saw this in the New York Post yesterday, women are coming out that in the 1970s on the porn sets, he sexually abused them. You know, at some point,
if I hear any more sexual stuff, it's like every other article now.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
I turned off my notifications on my phone.
This is the problem. Okay, everybody's coming out of the woodworks about sexual abuse, and somebody touched me incorrectly, and now what it does is it deadens the women who were really genuinely sexually abused, who were molested by a senator who is, when they were 14, 15, 16 years old, who were raped by movie producers, and it makes those claims less, it deadens their claims simply because it's just so much, you can't cut through the clutter anymore. And you know, that's what I see as the problem right now. I mean, when you go on a pornography set in the 1970s from 40 years ago or 50 years ago, and now you're claiming 40, 50 years later, and you put yourself in the situation that you're going to have sex on a movie set, real sex, not even simulated sex, and now you come out 50 years later, I don't know. I mean, you kind of put yourself in that situation. It's kind of like saying, I ran across a highway and got hit by a car. Well, I mean, you ran across the highway. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of deadening it a little bit. But maybe I could be wrong, Squeeze. I am absolutely open to being told I'm wrong because I don't know the right answer. All right. By the way, Mattel, Squeeze.
Yeah, the toy company.
They have debuted the first Barbie to wear a hijab. Hijab.
What about a G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip?
The G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip was a long time ago.
Okay.
Okay. That guy was Asian, Kung Fu grip.
Yeah.
That's now I'm stereotyping. But in all seriousness, the doll is part of the company's Shiro's line, is based on U.S. Olympian Ibtaj Muhammad. Mm-hmm. She had won a silver medal in fencing, bronze medal, excuse me, there she is, in fencing for the U.S. Olympic team. And the doll was unveiled at Glamour Magazine's Woman of the Year Live Summit. It's the latest addition to the Barbie Shiro's line, which celebrates women who break boundaries in their fields and inspire the next generation. And there they are, the Shiro's line of Barbies. Previous Barbies in the Shiro's line have included dolls' likeness of the ballet dancer Misty Copeland, model Ashley Graham, film director Ava DuVernay, who did Selma. How about you see that one? Mm-hmm. March Across the Bridge, good movie. Mm-hmm. And 13, which I didn't see, but I saw the first one. So Muhammad won a bronze in Rio. And what else is happening? Crazy Texas sheriffs. There's always a crazy sheriff story somewhere. I don't know why sheriffs, as soon as you put a badge on and you get a big hat, you become crazy. Okay? They're all the way going back from the movies from, who is that, the Kung Fu guy who would always go into the town?
Can you distinguish why they have sheriff in some towns and regular
policemen?
Police? Yeah. And what's the difference?
That's a question I don't know the answer to. I just think that the I just think that the
I know small towns that have cops.
And
Greenwich is a small town, but they don't have sheriff.
Sheriff and cops have different duties, but I don't know because I'm a big city slicker.
Maybe our producer
I'm
Jill
a big city slicker.
Yeah.
So in Fort Bend
you never
County,
had a sheriff in Long Island?
There are sheriffs in New York City. Sheriffs in New York, but all they do is they serve summonses.
When you think about sheriff, what do you think about?
They serve summonses for us.
What do you think about? You think about cowboy days.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about, I forgot the
guy. Big hat.
Yeah, big hat.
Cowboy. Come on out here.
He's like, hey, we don't like you.
Come out here.
The sheriff is always, we don't like you conned here, you know?
Why are you in town?
So you come riding into my town, right?
Yeah, get out of my town.
Get out of my town, right? So the sheriff in Fort Bend County, he's potentially bringing charges against an owner of a truck with an anti-Trump window decal. This is the sheriff. Yep, that's exactly who I would think he would have looked like. That's exactly who if I had to guess who the sheriff would have looked like.
Are you stereotyping the sheriff now?
If I had to guess what he would look like, that would be it. In the Facebook post that has since been deleted, Sheriff Niels asked residents to help locate the owners of a truck with a window cowl that proclaims F-U-C-K Trump and F-U-C-K-U for voting for him. He wrote that he's received numerous calls from drivers who are offended by the profanity of this truck. Karen Forsenka, the truck's owner, said she did not plan on removing the decal, which has been on the truck for nearly a year. Yesterday afternoon, Forsenka was arrested on an outstanding fraud warrant issued in July. Seems like quite a coincidence. There she is. This is the woman who said F-U-C-K Trump.
So, like the woman who gave the finger.
Yes. The ACLU of Texas slammed the sheriff for threatening free speech. And Nell's post sparked a swift backlash on social media. Some praised the sheriff, but others accused him of launching a politically motivated attack. Meanwhile, this woman has been arrested in Texas. Finally, Squeeze.
Finally. No, it's not final. We're going on till 10. But finally in the news.
Finally, the final thing. The Man of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay. People magazine announced Blake Shelton was chosen for the 2017, there he is, Sexiest Man of the Year. And social media is exploded.
Why didn't he take off his shirt?
All right, social media has exploded.
We normally see that.
Okay, many in social media say he is not the sexiest man of the year. They gave several examples of men who are sexier than him, including Idris Elba. You know who he is,
yes,
right?
I know.
And they're saying Idris Elba was robbed of the title. Aside from, there he is. Seems like I mean, I'm not into men, but it seems like he's a better looking guy.
Why did you have to disclaim that?
Right, I just want to make it clear.
We know you're confident of your sexuality.
And now on Twitter, okay, they're saying aside from Shelton's girlfriend, Gwen Stefani, there is nobody in the world who thinks that Blake Shelton is sexier than Idris Elba, and
I don't know about sex. He's a cool dude, but I don't know about sex.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're also saying that there's potential other winners could have been David Squeezadicki.
No. I will decline that offer.
All right.
Evidently, I'm not the sexiest man.
So there it is, and there's
considering,
you are not, apparently not. All right, so let's get to immigration.
Yeah, let's get to immigration. Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm having problems with all my equipment.
We have Stacy, who's been holding online for at least 10 minutes now.
All right, so we're going to jump right into answering immigration questions. Let me just explain that part. Basically, you call us up at 1-800-529-5465. The attorney, Bradford H. Bernstein, will answer your questions on immigration. You may also place your questions on our social media sites, starting with, of course, at David Squeezadicki, Brad H. Bernstein, and, of course, the law offices, Bart Bernstein, and, yes, the new big one, Brad and Squeeze. So make sure you do that. Right now, place those questions, and we'll read those questions off in the RFQ, the rapid fire question segment, with our SMG social media guru.
She's SMQ also now.
Oh, I'm sorry, SMQ.
Yes. Social media queen.
Ever since we changed the name, though,
she's had
some technical problems.
Yes, but
so I don't know.
She's also been a lot more full of herself since we've started calling her queen instead of guru. Have you noticed that?
Oh, so Queen doesn't do certain things.
The queen is is thinking she's the queen.
Yeah, of course. She's not thinking.
She is the queen now, yes, yeah.
She just needs to start wearing that crown. Yeah. All right. So let's go to 1-800-529-5465. Let's get your questions in, and let's just try to run through them as quickly as possible. So people, do not delay. Place your questions on our social media platforms now, or call up 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to whom.
And by the way, social media queen is talking in my ear right now and saying, please remind everybody that she is going to read off the questions first off of Brad and Squeeze page.
Of course.
The queen is trying to strong arm everybody to be watching us on the Brad and Squeeze page on Facebook. So your questions will first be read off there. So if you want to be sure you get your questions read off, please leave them first on the Brad and Squeeze page. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Stacy in Pittsburgh.
Stacy.
Stacy in Pittsburgh, how are you?
Hey.
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You're supposed to say Pittsburgh is perfect.
Okay.
That's the line.
Not the Pits.
It's not the Pits.
Pittsburgh is perfect. Quick question, right? I came up on a H-2B visa in 2015.
Right.
And I filed for my adjustment of status and my advance parole.
Okay.
My dad was in and out of hospital in 2015 when I was up here. I was wondering if I could visit him on my advance parole without coming back in this state without having a problem.
Is your application still pending for adjustment of status?
Yes, sir.
And your advance parole is valid?
Yes. I got it on 11. I got it the 3rd of November this month. Just
recently. Yes. Then you can absolutely travel on advance parole. Don't stay out of the country more than 14 days. That's my only advice.
I was quick question again. The person, I want to know if I want to have you guys from my lawyer, because the person that did my paperwork first, I paid them for my application, and then they were saying that I was supposed to pay them $2,500 to receive the ED card after I paid them $2,000 the first for my paperwork.
By the way, that's a bunch of BS.
Baloney.
Because when you put the adjustment application in, your work permit,
I paid them
your work permit, your work permit's supposed to come automatically. You don't have to pay additional for it.
They are saying that I owe them $2,500 more plus.
All right. Well,
so I want to know if I could.
You can absolutely switch, and then we'll take a look at what they did, and we can figure out, what's called a quantum merit basis, what they did to earn their fees. Hold on one second, okay?
How can I make an appointment to see you?
You're gonna hold on
1 second.
We're gonna speak to you off here.
All right.
1-800-529-5465. Squeeze.
That's the number. 1-800-529-5465 is the number that you call us here on the Brad and Squeeze Show to get your questions answered. Let's go to another call at 1-800-LAW-LINK.
Sharon in Queens.
Sharon.
Yes. Good morning, Bernstein.
Good morning, Bernstein. Wait, Sharon. I have a man here sitting next to me who gets ultra sensitive sometimes if you don't say good morning, Squeeze too.
No, it's okay. I'm okay.
All right. Can you say good morning to him?
Nobody loves Squeeze. That's the
new
hashtag,
I love Squeeze.
She loves you.
Sure.
From afar in Queens.
Of course. She would love to get her question answered. That's what she would love.
All right. What's going on, Sharon?
Yes. What I ask you, if I want to do an affidavit support, if somebody living out of state, can they do it?
Yes. As long anybody in any 50 states can do it, as long as they're a citizen or a resident.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks a lot. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Remember, place your questions on social media. Share the platforms. We'd love for you also to, of course, like the page Brad and Squeeze. All right, let's go to another call. Hello.
Leon.
Yes, hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good, man. I have a question for you. I had received a DWI in 2012.
Right.
And I'm traveling to Canada. I'm a U.S. citizen now. I just want to know if that would be a problem.
A DWI or a DU? You're a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's not a problem for coming back to the United States. I do not know what the laws are for Canada, though. I can't tell you that. Because a DWI is more serious than a DUI. So you would need to speak to a Canadian immigration lawyer to make sure that's not problematic to go to Canada with that. But as far as re-entering the United States from wherever you may go in this world, you're a citizen. You're welcome back.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you very much, man.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot. Once again, folks, the number is 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. This is the Brad and Squeeze Show. You're looking at me as if you want to say something.
Nope, I'm good.
No, what are you going to say about my glasses?
Your glasses?
Yeah, is that what you're going to say something about?
No.
My get up?
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
I didn't get it either.
I'm not getting it.
Guess what?
You didn't get it.
No, I didn't get it.
That's why last night was.
Exactly.
Now I get it.
I get
it.
You should have seen me walking out of the Century 21 store this morning.
Now I get it. All right. 1-800-529-5465. We got 12 open lines right now. So if you call, you will get your immigration questions asked and answered. Do we have Kim available in our social media room? Okay, so let's go to social media queen, Kim Moore. Mm-hmm. There you are. In a new room. In a new room.
I'm in a new room. Our social media headquarters is expanding. What can I say?
Is that my office you're in?
Yes, that is.
Why? All of a sudden she becomes
very familiar.
One second. As soon as she becomes the queen, she gets to sit in my chair. She gets to sit in the king's chair. How did that happen?
Hey, king, queen.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, let's go. Rapid fire. Where are we hearing it from?
Okay, Joan would like to know from the Brad and Squeeze Show page, an affidavit of support was submitted July 28th, biometrics August 23rd. I still haven't received my work permit. My attorney sent USCIS a service request and they said we should receive a response by November 30th. What does it mean? Will it be approved or not?
If your attorney did it properly, by November 30th, you should have something. If not, then come December rolls around, come see me. If it's done properly, you should get it. It's supposed to be 90 days, but they're really, under this Trump administration, they are not making life easy for anybody. And work permits are rolling out now 4 or 5 months when it's supposed to be 90 days.
Okay. Kamika would like to know on Facebook, my question is, if a person is a green card holder, can that person file for their spouse, and how long will it take?
The answer is yes, they can sponsor their spouse. It's about 1.5 years. If the spouse is in another country, they'll come up in about 1.5 years with a green card. If they're here and they're 245I, they can adjust. If they're in legal status, they can adjust. Or if they have overstayed, then they would need to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. But the short answer is yes.
The short answer.
Squeeze, do you want to go rapid fire back and forth? I like it when we go back and forth. No. Squeeze doesn't like the rapid fire. By the way, that's how it became the term rapid fire. Social media queen asks a question, Squeeze asks a question. We go back and forth, rapid fire. That's how the whole thing started.
Rapid.
I'm a single fire now.
It's single fire. It's single fire. We should be calling it.
No, that's alternative. What you guys are discussing. Rapid mean
Exactly.
Continuously. So
exactly.
It's not back and forth. Back and forth is not rapid. Rapid is bam, bam, bam.
I understand that, but when it was going back and forth, Kim was already loading up the question. You were loading up the question. It acted as if it's bang, 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 bang. Not that I'm arguing with you. Social media queen.
And Princess Anne would like to know, my friend got married in September last year, but she hasn't heard from them yet for an appointment. What should she do?
You know, all of these are, a lot of these questions are haven't heard, and the answer is, if you did things right, you will hear. If you didn't do things right, you're never going to hear.
Never,
and I don't know whether you did it right or wrong unless I'm your attorney or you actually come in and see us. So the answer is, what you should do is come see me, because I don't know if you did it right or not.
Listen to us, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. How long should it take for her? They haven't been called for an interview yet, and Princess Anne wants to know how long that
should take. About 9 to 12 months. They're out now. Okay. If you're waiting over a year for an interview, then something's wrong.
You have done something wrong.
Correct.
You get this a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Colin on Facebook. Ooh, go ahead, Squeeze.
Proceed.
Colin on Facebook would like to know, what happens when you marry on a visitor's visa to a U.S. citizen? What do you get first?
When you marry on a visitor's visa to a U.S. citizen, you get the boot out of America. You will get deported because you can't come here to visit and get your green card. If you come here to visit, you wait more than 90 days. You've then decided, I don't feel like visiting anymore. I've changed my mind. And now I would like to go get married and get a green card, but I've changed my mind at least 90 days after I entered America. Then you would get married, you'd file an adjustment, you get a work permit would be the first thing that would happen. Well, you get a biometric appointment to take your fingerprints, have your fingerprints clear, and then get your work permit and travel document. We just got to make it clear you can't come here on a visitor's visa. I just did a consultation with a guy yesterday. Okay, he was married. His wife came to the United States. At that point, she was not married to him. She had her birth certificate with her, and they stopped her. They looked on her phone. Remember, the United States. Remember, we did this thing, too much information. They're checking people's social media. They looked at her WhatsApp. On the WhatsApp, it said something to the effect, hey, honey, can't wait to see you, love you, mwah, 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 with kisses. That was from the man who was being affectionate to his girlfriend. They said, are you coming to marry him? Why are you traveling with your birth certificate? And she said, we're thinking about getting married, yes.
Wow.
And guess what happened?
Of course.
She got turned around and sent home. And now he went to marry her in another country, and he's having all sorts of, this happened 2 years ago, and this has happened when Obama was president. And he's having all sorts of problems trying to get her back. He finally contacted me yesterday, and we're going to help. But these things happen all the time. And now it's written in stone. They're going to be checking your social media, your emails, even at the airport. They checked your WhatsApp.
Yep.
And he delayed being with his wife for 2 years because he didn't call a lawyer first.
Because they didn't know what they... Yes, because they didn't call a lawyer first, and they just assume they can do things.
They didn't call Sparnbirds.
Right.
Right. Don't assume. Because when you assume, bad things happen. Or Squeeze says, they make an ass out of you and me.
Yes. Never assume.
Right. All right, continue.
Just use a KISS formula. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. Right. Call Brad and Bernstein. All right. Right. Just remember,
use the KISS formula.
Use the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. Call Brad and I'm going to call Brad and Bernstein. I'm going to sound like my clients. I'd like to speak to Brad and Bernstein. No, it's Brad Bernstein. Call Brad and Bernstein. All right. Continue.
Lovable on Facebook would like to know, my friend and her husband are both in the U.S. now, and her dad is a citizen who just filed her I-130. Can they stay in the U.S. while it's processing?
If the dad filed the I-130, if they're over 21, they're going to be waiting 7 years. So how are they going to stay here legally is my question. I don't know. They would need... Let's get back to the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. Call Spar and Bernstein. Gotta stay legal.
A solid formula.
Solid advice. Just give a kiss. Right?
If you have an important question, KISS.
Yeah, KISS, right. What else?
Suyan, Facebook would like to know, do you have to swear in first before you can put in your spouse's papers?
No, you can put it in before, but you're not a citizen until you swear in.
We've got a few more. Wendy would like to know, I have a question and time is running out. My daughter is 20 years old and she's going to be 21 in January. If I start her filing now as a green card holder, how long will it take?
Well, once she turns 21, it's going to take 7 years and your time is running out. It's about 1.5 years right now under 21, but probably she won't make it in time. What have you been waiting for? You know, there's always the what have you been waiting for?
What are you waiting on?
Right. All right, let's do one more because we got a lot to cover here in our show.
And I got a couple here.
And Squeeze got, all right, last one on the Queen's side, and then we're going to go to King Squeeze over here.
No. I declined that.
He is abdicated.
Yeah.
You're King
I
Squeeze
declined
is
to be your majesty.
King Squeeze has abdicated the crown.
Yes.
All right.
I love being a queen all by myself.
Okay.
I would totally be a Queen Elizabeth.
All right, last question, Queen.
Wyclef would like to know, is it safe to travel with an advanced parole with a pending VAWA?
Yes. Oh. Thank you very much. We're going to come back to Social Media Queen at the end of the show. Squeeze, you have some questions on your side.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to all the people who are saying that I should run for the sexiest man, but I declined that too.
I want to thank all the people who are stroking my ego
Debbie
right
and
now.
Barbara and Vakisha are all stroking my ego right now.
My ego is not big enough, so thank you very much.
Anyway, here's a question. I have a friend who wants to go to America to marry her sweetheart, but she is going on a visitor's visa. How long should she wait before she get married when she gets there? I told her the 90-day because I always heard you say 90 days over and over, but she said nothing like what I am saying to her. So I tagged her now for her to hear from the best for herself. And please explain, Brad, why she shouldn't get married as soon as she gets to the U.S.
You can't come to the United States on a visitor's visa for purposes of getting married. If you do, it is misrepresentation. It's another word for lying, fraud. You will be barred for life from getting your green card. And what the law says is that if you come with the intention of getting married, you will be denied. You should not do it. Don't do it.
Okay. All right, so let's go to Mitzi. Mitzi wants to know, a friend of mine filing for his wife in Jamaica, what papers does he file and what does he need to present in the envelope with the form?
The I-130, your marriage certificate, copies of everything. Do not submit originals. Copy of marriage certificate, copy of birth certificates, and proof that prior marriages were terminated through death or divorce, and passport photos for each of you, 4 of each.
Absolutely.
And a filing fee of $535.
There you go. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show, that concludes the SMG segment, the social media check-in, whatever you want to call it. And we'll come back to that later on, but let's just flip it back to Brad here. The number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Ready to go back to the phone lines?
Okay, so Squeeze, I had met yesterday while you were out on assignment. They have, by the way, I was looking for a perfect Christmas gift for you. And I don't know what to get the man who's got everything. I was going to get you
sound like my kids.
I was going to get you
I do not have everything.
I was going to get you a Ferrari and I said, damn, he's got a Ferrari. And then I was going to get you a Range Rover, and I said, damn, the guy's got a Range Rover. I was going to get you a Gucci wallet, and then I said, I got him a Gucci wallet already.
Yes, you did.
Right? I was going to get you a Gucci hat, and I said, got him the Gucci hat, too.
You got me an LV wallet.
What?
You got me an LV.
Oh, a Louis Vuitton? Yeah. I did not get you the Gucci wallet. I don't even remember my Christmas gifts I got you anymore. All right. So, I'm looking for the gift to give a man who's got everything.
Yeah.
Okay, a man who's got it all, who's got so much he has abdicated his throne as king. Squeeze. So I found this, Squeeze.
What did you find?
If we can get close, the New York City taxi driver's calendar. So, for example,
I don't know what you're alluding to.
For example, in January, these are all taxi drivers.
I don't know
here
what
we
you're
are.
alluding to.
Okay, in January, Squeeze.
I don't know what you're alluding to.
You can put this
up. Why would I like that calendar?
You can put this up.
It's a calendar with a bunch of men on it.
It is a bunch of men on it, but you can put it up.
Why would I like that?
And I'm going to put, Squeeze, you have a show on Monday, you got a show on Tuesday, you got a show on Wednesday, so you know what times to show up to.
I've got my iPhone and a calendar.
There are women in it as well,
May
Squeeze.
Keep that one.
Here, why don't we just here, women in it too. It's the men and women of the New York City taxi fleets. I met the creators yesterday. I was so
it's very nice.
Impressed with the New York City. Here, you like the back of, you like this guy?
You were impressed with the calendar of
I was
men.
impressed with the calendar of men and women. They were all minorities. They are all here from other countries working as taxi drivers.
Nothing wrong with
And I spoke with Phil and Shannon Kirkman, who are the creators of the New York City taxi. And by the way, here, Merry Christmas.
That's okay.
Okay, Merry Christmas. And I spoke with them, the creators, Phil and Shannon Kirkman, the creators of the New York City taxi drivers calendar. Let's see how they came up with this thing.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so the holidays are right around the corner. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, it's all around the corner. And if you're wondering, like me, what to get for the person who's got it all, like Squeeze, I don't know what to get him. I've got the solution for you. The New York City Taxi Drivers Calendar. With us today is Phil and Shannon Kirkman, the creators of the New York City Taxi Drivers Calendar. Phil and Shannon, welcome to the Brad and Squeeze Show. And I have a question for you because it's such a unique thing that you've done. How did you come up with the concept for a calendar with New York City taxi drivers?
Sure, yeah. So the original idea was conceived back in like 2012. We did a calendar of my oldest brother as a gag gift for my sister-in-law for Christmas. So it was well received by family and friends, and we then I actually recently left my career in finance and was thinking of ways to broaden some of my creative projects. So we took the calendar. We thought, well, how can we broaden that? We landed on the iconic taxi driver of New York.
So you just made a calendar online like everybody else does on one of these apps or websites, and the family calendar, you sent it out, and then you decided to broaden it and say, what kind of calendar could we make? Do you have any experience in the taxi industry? How'd you come up with taxi drivers?
No experience. But
we kind of threw around, when you think about New York City and you think about imagery in New York City, yellow cabs are so iconic, right? I mean, you see the big red apple, you see the Empire State Building, and then you see yellow cabs. So pretty much everybody who's ever lived here or visited New York City has had some sort of experience with a taxi driver, right? So we felt like that was a really great group of people who are largely underappreciated, and you never really get to hear their stories. So we wanted to feature them.
And they certainly are underappreciated. How did you find taxi drivers to model for you? How'd you convince them to model for you? How'd you do all this? Did you just start driving in a taxi and say, hey, I'm doing a calendar, you want to take a picture with me?
Well, it's definitely gotten easier over time. When we first started, we actually put an ad online and received responses that way, then had to sort of pitch the calendar each time to each driver to make sure that they were comfortable with it. And we still go through that process, but we now receive a lot of our drivers as referrals from past drivers / models. And then we kind of go from there. So they know what they're getting into, through their other friends that have posed.
Now we're looking at these pictures of the taxi drivers as we're having this conversation, and it strikes me that a lot are minorities. I know that for a fact because I drive in taxis a lot as a passenger. Did you know what kind of percentage that the New York City taxi driver, what kind of percentage are immigrants to the United States of America?
Yeah, we originally didn't know when we got started with the project, and as it turned out, the first year we shot the calendar, 100% of our driver models were immigrants. So we started doing research and realized 96% of the taxi drivers in New York City are immigrants. And so naturally, we knew we wanted to have a charity element to the calendar, so we actually partnered with an organization that provides basic services for immigrant and working families. They're called University Settlement. They're a really amazing organization. So that was a really good fit for us because we wanted something that was relevant to the people who were starring in the calendar.
And what does University Settlement do to help immigrants or minorities? What do they do?
They provide really awesome programs. It's a broad range of programs, from English as a second language programs to assistance in finding housing, early childhood and senior programs. So they provide some awesome services.
And what percentage, I'm sorry, what percentage of the proceeds from this calendar go to the university settlement programs?
It's right around 20% of the calendar. To date, we've actually been able to donate over $60,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we're really proud of that.
Wow, that's amazing. And so basically your calendar is New York City taxi drivers, 96% who are immigrants. 20% of the proceeds of this calendar go to help to an organization that helps immigrants. How has this affected you and changed your life? I mean, I assume you did not live the immigrant experience, but now you are experiencing people who have. Tell me how that's affected you.
Well, we've definitely become more socially conscious. I mean, it's hard not to, number one, living in the city since it's so diverse. But over time, we've definitely become more socially conscious, and especially in the current divisive and nonsensical environment, it feels rather pressing to sort of shine a positive light on these individuals that work so hard, not only to provide for themselves, but also for their families. And, they're also, they're, a lot of the experiences that we've had have been awesome. And, they've been friendly and great. And they're no different than you and I.
Have you become close with any of the New York City taxi drivers, the models? Have you heard any of their immigrant stories? Do you want to share something about what you've learned about them with us, or maybe about your friendships that you've put together with them over the years?
Yeah, well, actually, you just showed a photo of Hassan with he was eating a slice of cake that had his face on it. We've developed a really amazing relationship with several of our drivers, and Hassan in particular. We surprised him with this cake for his birthday, and it was such a fun shoot. After doing that, he was so excited, and we were so excited. And we have a date to get Bangladeshi food with Hassan soon. We've really loved hearing everyone's stories. I mean, some of these drivers work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, not only just to put food on their tables, but a lot of times to send money home to families back in their home countries. We had a driver a few years ago from Venezuela who has had trouble getting home to see his family because of the current political situation in Venezuela. And we've heard a lot of stories like that have been really compelling and just have opened our eyes and our hearts to everyone's stories and their lives.
Well, I think this is just such an amazing, unique idea, and it is so New York, and it really shows not only the immigrant experience, but what we're all about here, not just in New York, but in the United States, about embracing cultures, about embracing nationalities, about being multicultural here, both in the city and throughout the United States. And I commend you for this unique idea. I commend you for working on it year after year, and for also giving 20% back to the community in which the models come from, to help other immigrants. Where can we buy this? Because I want to buy one myself. Where can we buy this?
You can go to nyctaxicalendar.com. That's our website. The calendars cost $14.99, and we ship them and pack them right here in our apartment.
And what's the latest we can get it before Christmas?
I think their cutoff date around the 20th or 21st. I think is the safest date to get it before. How many
calendars do you expect to ship out this year?
that's always the guessing game.
Right.
I mean, last year we sold roughly like 5,000.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
And I shipped to all 50 states and over 30 countries.
And I just saw you featured in the New York Post. Congratulations. I just happened to be seeing that today and saw it. It's an amazing idea, great story, and thank you for joining us here on the Brad and Squeeze Show.
Thank you so much.
What?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And of course, you catch Squeeze pushing the thing in
Squeeze is like Brad. How come you're not like on a couch somewhere topless doing something like this?
All these people,
you know, the lawyers of New York City calendar.
Yeah, that's about
That's what Squeeze was saying to me. He goes, "Why don't you do the lawyers of New York City?"
Why don't we have the Brad calendar?
The Brad calendar.
Just Brad alone.
I'm going to tell you something. I think there would be like maybe like 4 or 5 Brad Squad people would buy it, and
the 12 moods of Brad Bernstein. I'll tell you what.
All right, on your Christmas list next year.
I'm going to give that to the Brad Squad.
How about the Brad and Squeeze show calendar next year? Do you like that one?
No, the Brad Squad would say. Right. I'm quite sure that the Brad Squad right now is saying, Squeeze, shut up. It's okay. We'll take the calendar. Just make sure that Brad shaves.
The Brad and Squeeze calendar. All of a sudden, like a week before Christmas, on sale, 99 cents now. You know, it's like keeps dropping. We keep dropping the price.
It's a negative 99 cents.
We'll give it to you for free. Just please take it.
All right. Let's get back to some immigration question. 11 minutes before the hour. It's the Brad and Squeeze show where we answer immigration questions and more. We must remind you that this is also a full-service law firm. Criminal defense, personal injury, family law, tax law, and of course, obviously, which one am I forgetting?
Criminal defense, personal injury.
I said personal injury, didn't I?
Divorce and matrimonial. Tax.
All
right, you got it all. Criminal defense. Let's go to Denise in Brooklyn. Denise, you're waiting a long time.
Denise,
how are you?
What's up?
Hi, good morning. How you doing? Hi, Brad. Hi, Squeeze.
Good. How you doing?
I'm fine. I have a friend of mine who is currently going to see an immigration judge. She's married.
Right.
She has 3 children. The issue is she came up. She doesn't have an I-94. Is it possible?
How long has she been in the United States?
Pardon?
How long has she been in the United States?
Since 2011 years.
All right, so if she was put in deportation, the notice to appear more than 10 years after her entry, and she can show extreme and unusual hardship to her children, provided she doesn't have a deportable offense, she can apply for cancellation or removal. Is that what she's doing?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
But she's not giving me all the details. I'm not 100% sure, but I know she's actually seeing an immigration judge.
Yeah, she needs to see me then, quickly, because you only have like so many times to go before a judge before you get ordered deported, and every time you go before a judge with a lawyer that you're not sure what's going on and what's happening, you're putting yourself in a bigger hole. It's like a criminal defense case. You know, we hear this all the time in criminal defense cases. It's the same with immigration cases before your judge. I'm going to go 1 more time or 2 more times to see what happens. You know what? You know what happens when you go to see what happens and things go worse? You box yourself in. The walls get smaller, and it makes it much more difficult for a good lawyer to fix it. So let her come see me immediately. I don't know where she's at with her case, but let her come see me, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. Let's do another call back.
Michael.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm doing my citizenship right now, right? And in the box where it says your previous jobs for the 5 years.
Right.
I work in construction, so I work, when a job is finished, I move to another job. So there's more jobs than spaces to put them in. What do I do?
Are you employed by each person, or are you an independent contractor?
No, I'm employed.
Okay, so then you have to say, see separate sheet, and on a separate sheet, continue answering.
Oh, so I could make a copy of the sheet that page.
No. Just take out a white piece of paper.
White piece of paper. Okay, and put it on there.
And then write continuation of question, whatever the question number is. Additional employers, and put your name and the petitioner, the beneficiary, and all your identifying information, and attach it to the form.
No. It's not. I'm doing citizenship, so.
So you're going to put your name, your alien registration number. You'd say application for naturalization, continuation of question number XYZ, and keep answering it on a white sheet of paper, and then staple it to the form.
So don't make a copy and put it on. Okay, all right.
You got it?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, Squeeze. What do we want to do? We got about 7 minutes.
I want us to take some more calls.
All right, so let's go.
Maybe check in with SMG quickly again.
Ronnie from London.
Ronnie from London.
Hello, Brad. Hello, Squeeze. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
He sounds like a really smart guy. As soon as you hear the English accent.
Brad says everybody that has an English accent sounds smart.
So really smart. I'm like, he's going to ask me
I'm not so sure you're going to think that after what I tell you.
I was going to say, don't disappoint me. You're going to ask the smartest question of the show.
Anyway, what's your question?
Brad, I'm going through a marriage green card process right now. I applied in the United States while I was in the United States. I'm taking advantage of the advanced parole. So I'm going to be, so I'm outside of the country right now. I looked on the US, the website that tells you kind of where your status is at the moment. And apparently I had an interview 3 days ago. My lawyer that I did this through a lawyer in the state of Tennessee, hadn't got back to me to tell me that there'd been an interview. I'm not in Tennessee. I've been outside for about 3 weeks at this point. So I've actually missed my appointment for the green card interview.
That's a problem.
By 3 days at this point.
That's a big problem.
Yes.
I would get on an airplane as quickly as possible. Your advanced parole is still valid, and hope that they don't turn you around at the airport. And did you speak to your lawyer about going to immigration and rescheduling another interview? Did they deny your case? Because the key thing is, if your case was denied because you didn't show up to your interview, you're now stuck out of the United States. If your case is still pending and they didn't deny it, they'll let you back in.
Okay, so we need to find out straight away.
We need to find out straight away, because all they're going to see in the airport computer is case open, case denied. And this is Tennessee. Okay. This is not New York City. So your lawyer should be able to walk into the immigration office in Tennessee. They don't got much to do there in Tennessee. Okay, so it's not like New York City where it's like immigrant central here. Right. It's Tennessee. I mean, you're probably they haven't seen an immigrant in Tennessee.
3 immigrants, right?
They haven't seen an immigrant in Tennessee.
The guy from London.
Yeah, the guy from London, and the guy from
and the Jamaican guy that's working at the hotel.
Exactly.
And the Mexican guy who just happened to be in Tennessee.
Who's mowing the lawn. That's about it.
Okay.
So let him walk right into immigration today or Monday at the latest. Make sure your case is pending, and just buy a plane ticket and come back. As long as your case is pending, they'll let you in, and then you'll deal with the adjustment. If they denied your case for failure to show up, you got a big problem, and we're going to need to speak off the air.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. All right, I was going to say to him, that's the dumbest question I ever heard in my life, but it was actually a serious problem, so I couldn't do it.
All right.
All right. So what do we want to do?
I don't know. What do we want to do? We got. Let's go to Kim. Let's go to Kim.
Queen of social media. How are you?
The Queen is here.
Queen of social media. The Queen. Yes. What's going on? What do you got?
Shanda has a question on Facebook. She said, I've been in America over 10 years and I lost my green card. Can I go ahead and file for my citizenship and get a replacement card all at the same time?
Yes. Just got to pay
Mark
for it.
on Facebook. Okay. Mark on Facebook would like to know, I just got married in August. My wife and my 2 boys were here on a visa. How do I go about filing for them? I'm only a green card holder, and I've had my green card for almost 20 years now.
If your wife's a citizen and the boys are under 18, let your wife file for them as a U.S. citizen stepmom. Otherwise, you file for them and become a citizen as quickly as possible. And I do have to, thank you, Queen. I do have to remind everybody that this entire show is brought to you by USA Credit Repair. We're about 30 minutes late on page 21. I'm going to get a scathing.
Bring this once at the end of the show.
I will be getting a.
When the show is over, everybody's logging off.
Yes. I will be getting a scathing letter from the USA Credit Repair people. But I do have to tell everybody.
No, here's what I think about you.
Yes.
Not doing it.
Okay.
I'll give you back your account.
Wow, he did not like my Christmas gift. But I do have to remind everybody that there is an answer to the free credit. And the answer is 13. 13 is the answer. That is an answer to a citizenship question. Okay? The question is not at what age was Brad bar mitzvahed. That is not the question.
No.
It is a different question. If you call USA Credit Repair right now at 1-800-872-7177, that's 1-800-872-7177, and you know the question to that answer, which comes from a citizenship test, they will be giving you free credit repair for 30 days.
So the answer is 13.
The answer is 13.
So they just got to tell you the question.
Right.
What number do they have to call to get free credit repair?
1-800 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. If your credit is below 700, they guarantee that they will get it higher within 90 days or your money back as long as you follow their procedures and protocol. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. You call Zenmar up or whoever answers the phone and say, the question is, how many states were there in the original union? All right, and the answer is 13. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. They are our proud sponsors, USA Credit Repair. You know the question to that answer, which is a citizenship question. They will give you free credit repair for the first 30 days, but you got to call them right now, 1-800-872-7177.
And if that doesn't work out, Brad will give you a calendar.
Yes, we have 3 calendars here because
I gave mine up just so you get it.
I was going to give away 2, but Squeeze gave me back his, so now we're going to give away 3, and we're out of here. We'll see you at 12.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spahn Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spahn Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spahn and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?